Just unpacking this evaporator. It's always slightly worrying when you find it's been wrapped up with parcel tape instead of having those plastic bands they normally have around things. It makes you think it's been opened before. Then we've found these 3 little screws lying around the bottom. And when we come to look at the fans, that one's sat in there nice. And that one, that's where those 2 screws have come from. That fan motor seems to have fallen off completely. What can you do? I've got the what do you call it? Lid. Got the lid off. These motor guards are only made out of plastic, so what I think's happened is 2 of the screws have come loose, which are those 2 I found on the floor. It's been bouncing about on the back too, and it's torn the threads out of the plastic, so we'll just have to drill some new ones just the other side. It'll fit on just slightly out of thingy, otherwise either that or it might even screw back in there, I don't know, we'll try it. So these motors are interesting little things. I don't know if can't quite focus on that. No, it's useless. It's useless for close-up stuff. This made by Elco anyway, and they're AC here, but it's turned into DC in the motor. They've got a very, as you turn around they feel notchy. They're a lot more efficient than the old, those little shady pole motors, the little aluminium bodied ones. These don't give it anywhere near as much heat. The job for today is we've got to put the expansion valve in there, and maybe a bit of pipe work. I want some coating. I've got some coating to put on there because it's going in a cheese room. I've got some of this stuff. It's like a blue vinyl. I think it's blue, just so you can see it's on there. Like a, give the coil a few coats of that, and it will help it last a bit longer because the fumes from the cheese rot the copper pipes out. That's our expansion valve. Got to fit this in here somewhere. It's got to go on there. Equalising line. It's got to go on here. Liquid line in, suction line out of there. Got some knockouts on this side, or this on the other side. For pipe work to exit. Normally we'd go through the, just drill through the top, go straight through the roof so there's nothing in the room, but because this is a changeover we've got to join it onto the existing pipework, so it's got to come out of here somewhere, so I think it probably wants to come out of this side. But something you have to be careful of when you do these is any pipework you do has got to miss where the 2 fan motors fit. So that's roughly where one's going to go, and that's roughly where the other one's going to go. So anything we do here has got to fit in there. It'll not be anywhere near here, so it could catch on the blades or even just drip water on the motor. Yeah, so it's worth either sticking something there, or sometimes I draw around it with a marker pen, put a black, a circle there, and then you've got an idea. And you've got a bit of space because the motor's going to be sat like that. But just gives you an idea that you're not going to pipe it all up and make it look nice, and then go to put the top on there and find it won't fit because the pipe's catching on that or one of the blades or something. That's the old coil off of that cheese room. Let's see what the fumes are from the cheese do to the copper. It's a 404 expansion valve, and somebody's written on there adjusted for R22, which might give you an idea of the standard of work the previous company worked to. Right, we've got the valve in place. Some old aluminium and a bit of old stainless steel with some damp rags underneath it just to soak the heat up a bit. The nitrogen fire through there. Let's see how we get on. Not my best work, is it? Where's my little mirror? Hopefully that's got it. I don't look too good around that side, but let's get a torch. Yeah, I think it's got it. Just turned it over and blobbed a bit more on there. I think it got it, it just didn't look very nice. I think these rods are a bit thick really for the size of pipe. They were the only ones they had at the wholesalers. For doing these and the valves, they need to be 15% silver. I think they're sort of 2.5mm thick rods, so they're a bit better on bigger pipe really. You need to keep the nitrogen flowing through there until that's cooled down. If you turn it off as soon as you stop brazing, then you could get some air in there and it'll still be hot enough to oxidise. Right, got the valve to fit in there. We'll do that separately. I had to use a fitting on there because I couldn't get a bend tight enough and then be able to get out of there. I did bring it out round like this in the big loop and I got it to fit, but where the fans were it would have caught on the fan guard, so I had to give up and use a fitting. Sprayed it with that vinyl coat stuff as well, giving the coil about, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 coats. So hopefully it'll last a bit longer than the other one. Found some of those little metal clips in a old thermostat. They come as a spare part if you need it to fit it. So I've got 4 of those on there. That will get the get that motor fixed in there nicely, I think. But with that being plastic, they probably ought to have something similar on them from the factory really. Just noticed this on the other fan motor. I think this thing's really been in the wars. These 2 sides are cracked. It's okay. Yeah, I reckon that's been dropped from a good height. I'm going to be phoning somebody up tomorrow and having a word with them.